Hello, everybody, Oriole fans and Raven fans, and thank you for joining us today for the Ravery Sports podcast post game week 2 showdown reaction, instant reaction, and highlights from the game we just had, where the Ravens were successful winning this game today against Cincinnati. They skip put the final score on screen there. 27-24. There you go. Oh. All right, so apologize for that. Got the final score 27-24. Ravens successful today over the Bengals in this one. Watching the Orioles as well. We'll get to the Orioles in a second. Orioles are still in the ninth. Just went to 10 innings, rather. 3-3. Got the Mateo looks like he scored on the last on that hit from that hit from Adam Frazier when he got a pinch hit for Austin Hayes. Awesome work. Orioles still fighting for that. Although with the Orioles, it is official, regardless of the outcome of this game, they are officially in the playoffs with the loss in the American League. So the Orioles are back in the playoffs for the first time in a while. Let's go ahead and talk about the Ravens today. Ravens, I think, have figured out with Cincinnati what to do, and that's just smack them in the mouth. That's what they're doing every time now they play them. I think what they figured out to do is they're going to go ahead and just punch them in the mouth, control the line of scrimmage, and that's what they're doing to go ahead and beat Cincinnati. You could see the reaction and that final bell from John Harbaugh, how much he wanted to win this game for a week 2 game. This was huge. Look, team has beat you a couple times in a row. Big division game. Big win for the Ravens getting it early, putting the Bengals now 2 games behind them and having a road win against Cincinnati. Big time stuff today from the Ravens. Couple things I want to say right off the bat as far as for the Ravens in a depth chart. To me, it's pretty official. Justice Hill is the starter at running back and not Gus Edwards. I think what they're doing is they're leaving Gus Edwards, even though he got a lot of touches today and was very active. But what they're doing with Gus Edwards, it looks like kind of what they're doing with Pat McCary. Hey, we like you in the role you're in. We're going to give the starting job to that. Also, too, it's apparent, even if they weren't on the field, Josh Johnson is now your backup quarterback and not Tyler Huntley. Huntley was in uniform playing. He's been the third quarterback. I think he's been officially, in my opinion, looks like he demoted to the third string. So, about the game today. Lamar, I thought, was really good today. I thought last week he wasn't any good at all. I thought he really looked rusty. A really good bounce back from Lamar. You can see how the offense looks with all these receivers that they have. It looked outstanding. I thought Zay Flowers on that long pass was fantastic. Nelson Aguilar, who's like their 4th, 5th guy. Guys like Aguilar and Duvernay in a 4th, 5th role where they're playing less. What's happening is they're fresh and more effective in those situations. That's exactly what it looked like to me in that situation as well, playing for them. Unfortunately, Odell left the game, was in street clothes at the end. He left the game in third quarter, had a couple catches early, kind of set the tone. I thought they played differently when Odell was in there. He wasn't double teamed, so he was catching balls early. So unfortunately, it looks like he twisted his ankle, was a little hurt back, came back in, and then they decided not to play him. So we'll see how bad his injury is. We're going to hear from Coach John Harbaugh as far as that goes with the injury. Also, as well, in this game, the big turning point in this was in the third quarter. Gino, when the Bengals were driving towards the end zone, they were going to the red zone in the third quarter. The huge INT from Geno Stone in front of T. Higgins. He jumped right in front of T. Higgins. They didn't actually see it coming. He goes ahead and takes, spell that right, huge INT, not hug. huge INT in front of T Higgins. That was basically the difference in the game because they go down there, they take the ball away, and then what happened was on the next play, on the next series, Ravens get the ball back, get that huge pass to Zay Flowers, and they go ahead and they're successful winning the game against winning the game against the Bengals. That was huge. I thought that was the big difference in the game as well. Couple concerns. Offensive line, fine enough today. I thought it was. I thought McCary, you're not that concerned about Patrick McCary. Is he as good as Ronnie Stanley is at his best? No, but he's fine. He can fill that role for 1 or 2 games and then fine. I thought he got a couple flat, but that was fine. Mustipher, I thought, was more of an unknown. I thought he was fine as well. Again, not as good as a Tyler Lindenbaum would be at his best, but I thought Mustipher was fine. I don't love John Simpson at tackle, but he gets a lot of flags. But okay, can't have everything on your offensive line. Still got to work on it, but he's probably your best option right now. Fabulous to see the receiving talent that they have. Beckham, I thought was good early. I thought Zay Flowers with the long pass. Aguilar scored in the end zone. Bateman was kind of quiet, but I think like with all the options there, Andrews again playing for the first game, getting the touchdown, stretching it out. That was fantastic. The receiving core is there. This is what the Ravens offense will be wanting for years. I personally, I don't think you have to throw the ball all the time and everything like that. But what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to have it when you need it. And that's what they definitely had today. Cincinnati, Burrow was better. He still looked a little rusty to me. He still didn't look at his best. He didn't play, I don't think, at all in the preseason. He didn't play. Not only did he not play, he really didn't practice. He had the injury and didn't really practice. He still looks like he's getting his footing better today. I thought he just looked a little off still. So I think he just needs to play a little more and get his timing back to go ahead and get that squared away. I would say this, pleasantly surprised about how good Brandon Stevens played and Ronald Darby especially. So it's like they got the bulk of the time. They were picking on Darius Washington a little bit. I think he struggled a bit. But I considering how good that receiving core is, I thought they did fine. I was really impressed with the corners that they had. I think definitely you see Brandon Stevens in that number 1 corner spot like that. So I definitely think when Marlon Humphrey returns, that's who will be opposite of him. It looks like Brandon Stevens. They're putting a lot of confidence in him, and he's been decent so far. I thought he was decent today, considering. Now again, Burrow wasn't at the best, but I thought the corners were fine. Inside, look, there's nothing to say. I mean, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, fabulous again. Offensive line, defensive line, I think is really good. I think we saw a little bit more Travis Jones today. I love Travis Jones as a player. I think that was outstanding. A defensive line, any team's going to have trouble running the ball on this team. You're going to have to get an issue. Pass rush, though, Oweh, Adafi Oweh, and David Ajabo, they just didn't show up at all. Clowney, I thought, was better today. Once again, he missed a possible sack, but he got one. I thought he was good. I thought he got his guy to the ground there. I thought the pass rush, a little bit of a suspect still. I think they're still going to need more pass rush. But I thought the corners I thought was really good. I really was really impressed. Surprisingly so with one. And Geno Stone, rather, we talked about him. That was huge. That was the whole shooting match there. Getting that pick, and that basically turned the game and got the Ravens the victory there. That was huge as well. So 27-24, Bengals losing to the Baltimore Ravens, I thought was outstanding stuff by the Ravens today. Confession here, checking the Orioles score while was still going on. I thought so. The Ravens go into next week's game, going against the Colts, who looks like they're going to win today if they haven't already won the game already. Uh, I thought the Ravens though, good stuff. Tough road game, obviously, when you're going against a team like Cincinnati. Cincinnati not at their best. I think Cincinnati, their back end just isn't good. I think the Ravens, I can definitely see exploiting the back end, their lack of corners, etc. Um, all year long. I think they're going into week 3 against a team, another rookie quarterback. They're going to go ahead and do well against another rookie quarterback. They're going to play Anthony Richardson. Well, maybe not. Also, too, Anthony Richardson went out the game with a concussion. Gardner Minshew actually went ahead and finished up there as well. So it does look like finally got to that to refresh. Rays have went up 4-3 in the 10th. They're up with 1 out. So now we're looking at bottom of the 10th here. It's like Henderson just flied out to center as well, and Adley is at the plate. So we're going ahead and we're keeping an eye on that as well. So let's congratulate the Ravens today for the victory 2-0. They're going to go ahead 3-0 and go into the playoffs. And they're going to go next week, rather to go thinking about the Orioles, going into next week's game against the Colts, 2-0. Definitely next week, we're going to talk about that this week on the channel and get that squared away. Orioles just tied the game 4-4. Yes, freshman singled the center and drove home Aaron Hicks. So we'll go ahead and get that squared away as well. Definitely on our podcast this week, on our main podcast as well, we will go ahead and get that taken care of. We will go ahead and talk about the Orioles. We will go ahead and talk about the Ravens as well. I'll go ahead and getting that Orioles score up for you as well. 4-4. Thinking about just staying with this for a few seconds and just seeing how the Orioles are doing. So according to my screen here, Santander is still here at the plate. He's hitting as well. I would say this, and I do want to say this Orioles note as well, real quick. The Adley all year long has only missed, I looked at it today, he only missed 6 games. That's incredible. That Adley Rushman has only missed 6 games. He's been DHing. He hasn't been on DL, IL, or what they call it now, and he's only missed 6 games. So that's been incredible that Adley has only missed 6 games. He's been DHing all season long if he has a thing. All right, so it's like they're going to the 10th. Adley Santander has grounded out. So Orioles are going to the 10th. We're going to go ahead and check that out for you as well. Ravens, again, focus back on the Ravens. Ravens definitely 27-24 over the Bengals today. Offense, I think we're just seeing the beginning of how good this offense is going to be for the Baltimore Ravens. Offense, I thought was much, much, much better. Hey, man, once you get Stanley back in there, you get Linderbaum in there, we'll see how it goes with Odell. Hopefully get him healthy. I'd say Flowers is fantastic, to say the least. So it's a good day. We want to thank you very much for joining us here on the Ravery Sports Podcast, the Baltimore Sports Podcast. Thank you for joining us. You guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the O's. Enjoy the rest of the football Sunday. Have a great week. We will see you on our podcast Wednesday night. Have a great day.